Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy? Sports and Fitness Rants. I'm back, guys. Click the like button. Subscribe to my channel. Physical toughness built up through being active, right? Through exercise. I've told you guys in the past, right? You have to live an active lifestyle. And that the more active you are, the longer that you are active, the longer you exercise, it'll build physical toughness. Your body will become tough. You'll become harder to kill, right? Just like the Bruce Willis movie, right? You'll be hard to kill. And I'm going to give you guys an example of what I'm talking about, all right? It's a story time. This is a true story. So a long time ago, about 15 years ago or so, I was in a motorcycle accident. And I didn't have on my protective jacket, right? I didn't have any of the protective equipment on that I should have been wearing. I didn't have my jacket on, right? I was wearing sweatpants, which you shouldn't have been doing when you're riding a motorcycle. But anyway, I get into a motorcycle accident, and when I go down, I land directly on my forearm onto the pavement. And, needless to say, I had road rash all up my arm, all across my back. The bike flipped over on top of me, all these things, right? So the ambulance comes to take me to the hospital. Now, I was able to get up and walk away from this accident, or so I thought I would be able to walk away from the accident unscathed. However, when the ambulance came, they insisted that I went to the hospital. So I go to the hospital, and the first thing that they did when I got into the ambulance was they took all my vitals, right? They take your blood pressure, your heart rate, all your vitals or whatever, right? And the first thing that the EMT said to me when I was in the back of the ambulance heading to the hospital was like, "Do you exercise?" And I said, "Yes, I do." And she said that your heart rate, all your vitals are normal, as if I was never in any kind of accident. Like I had never had a traumatic accident just recently happened to me. This is literally minutes after the accident, and all my vitals, she said, were normal. So my heart rate was normal. My blood pressure, everything was normal. And that's what fitness does for you, ladies and gentlemen, right? I told you, it conditions your body, your heart, your lungs, everything, so that when things happen, you're able to bounce back from it quickly. So anyway, I get to the hospital, right? I'm in the emergency room, and what happened was I had a bunch of rocks and gravel and stuff stuck inside of my arm. It was in my arm, embedded in my arm and in my back. I had chunks of rock stuck into my skin. So they're basically scraping and scrubbing the rocks out of my arm, scrubbing the rocks out of my back in the emergency room, right? And the doctor comes in, right? They clean all my wounds up. The doctor comes in, and the first thing the doctor says to me, this is a true story. I'm not lying to you guys. This is a true story. The first thing the doctor says to me when he walks into the emergency room, and he says to me, "Do you exercise?" And I said, "Yes, I do." And he says, his direct line to me, he goes, "You were very fortunate, because if you didn't exercise, you probably would have lost your arm." This is what he told me. This is what the doctor told me. Because what happened was, like I told you guys, when I went down the motorcycle, this was the first thing that impacted the ground. And this whole arm right here, he said, would have been shattered. There would have been no saving this if my bones were in any less condition, if I was less conditioned. So I was able to keep my arm and not have any significant damage to my arm other than, flesh wounds and things like that, because of my fitness level, because of my activity level, because I kept myself in good condition. So when I tell you guys about living an active lifestyle, right? And I tell you guys about how being active and exercise can make your body physically tougher, right? Your bones will be tougher, your body will be tougher. This is what I'm talking about. This is a perfect example. On two separate occasions, once from the EMT inside the back of the ambulance, and once from the doctor in the emergency room, the first question they asked me is if I exercised. And that absolutely led to me not losing an arm and also being in a lot better condition. Maybe somebody would have had a heart attack if they were in an accident like that, right? Because their heart wasn't conditioned, right? So their vitals would have been through the roof. So think about that next time you guys don't want to exercise, or you're thinking about being lazy. Fight against that, because it could save your life.